I am not one who accepts this is the status quo, good, bad, or otherwise. We'll stick with it. You know, just work on it. Yeah, Rainbow Octavian. Rainbow Octavian is saying it's the same thing we're dealing with at the current job, a call center work where they're having a high rate of turnover and we treat us like crap. Yes, this is why your staff don't like you. Yep. No, that's. I have been at more than one company who they mistreat their staff and then they get all shocked when half their staff quits all at the same time, and it's like, yeah, I mean, the fact is you had someone mitigating your disaster you're doing here. That person quits, and then no one wants to fill in being the mitigator. It's like you got to fix your company culture to not be that way. And usually, like, micromanagement's the big issue there, or you have even worse stuff in your company culture that just get downright nasty. I'm sorry to hear that, Firestorms. Okay, so let's make ourselves an area where the trees won't grow from here. Yeah, that's the same. I hate that in OBS I cannot scroll chat. It like just locks itself back down. Give me one moment. Yeah. Well, like that's one of the things that I don't know why that's being rude. That's always been one of the things that has been with me. It's like, okay, so having tiered tax systems and all of that is really good for. It's hard to explain because there's like different Farah's perspective and all that. But yeah, no, I do feel like one of the big problems we have is there's just so many ways to get around having to pay your taxes that the actual tax rate is particularly ineffective. Hey, think of the rate of 5. Didn't you already raid me the stream? How are you doing this multiple times? Give me one moment. I'll give you a shout out, Zomboid. Another fun stream. But yeah. No, it's just there's too many ways to get out of paying stuff, so the tax rate doesn't even matter. Like that's the thing. People talk about the rate. And it's like, but it doesn't matter if that's not actually what people pay at the end of the day. I actually do not have a dad joke command or anything like that. That's that's Eros' stream that if you want to get your dad jokes on, Eros is happy to provide. Or sorry, Eros 1. Oh, Colo has redeemed 5 push-ups. Let me go ahead and get those out of the way, and I'll be right back. We've been just doing a day here of base building. Just because, you know, weather's been crap. Yeah, it's been the same here. I used to get tons and tons and tons of telemarketing calls like all the time. Like some of the ones I found laughable would be the ones from like the college I went to. They'd be like, "Hey, do you want to donate to help support the college?" It's like, "No. You're a for-profit college. You charge through the nose. Why would I give you money? You've already taken my money. Get out of here." Alright, so we got a bunch of bags here. We can use those for moving gravel and stuff later. And telemarketing's still around. It's just, it used to be that cold call like everyone, which is honestly a waste of everyone's time. But now they're more targeted, for better and worse. Like sometimes it's good because they're targeting the people actually interested in their products, which is better for everyone. And then other times, like if what they're selling is not necessarily in the benefit of the person buying, unfortunately, that's still a thing. Yep, Rainbow Octavian saying the exact same thing. Just like on the web, you used to get all sorts of like really kind of not okay types of advertisements for you, and you'd be like, why am I getting this incredibly awful ad? And it was just you weren't the target audience for it. They've gotten better about providing those kinds of ads to people actually interested. It's like, okay, great. Well, our sleep schedule's messed up. Checking to see if anything's not fresh yet. When they become not fresh, they become the priority, so at least get the calories out of it. Oh, I got door hinges. Okay, let's see. So I need more veggies. Yeah, I think that should do for now. Okay. Oh, Whistlebeak, RimWorld, get a toxic fallout. Never a good time. Forcing you to just chill inside your base. Oh, right. The brakes in this truck are awful. That was the negative of that truck. Well, nowadays, a lot of those extended warranty things aren't even, like, about trying to trick you into extended warranty or anything. There's, like, flat out a scam start to finish. They're not, like, selling a product at all. But yeah, the moment you show that you have a clue of what's going on, they hang up because you're not their target. They're looking for someone who'll fall for the con. Oh, the brakes are so terrible. Like there's people who they'll record and they'll stream and they'll do all that sort of stuff where basically all they do is they try and waste scammers' times kind of thing. Or, you know, they'll try and like get information on scammers to help authorities go after them. And that's usually the thing they have to watch is like if they even slightly tip off the fact that, you know, they're not a complete sucker, the scammer will just immediately hang up. I don't like that you don't have enough room on your corpse to carry my weapon that broke. Yeah, like there's always a new scam, but the one going on right now is that there'll be a group and they'll call as if they can't remember the way it starts, as if there was like some transaction concern that, oh, you know, we have to figure this out, and then what they'll do is they'll try and like get you to remote into your computer kind of thing, and they'll have you visit your bank website or whatever. And it's not like they'll just grab the money out of your bank account and bail because that's too easy to track. What they'll actually end up doing is they'll sit there and go, okay, well here's this thing, you know, it's like, as part of this, we're gonna pay you whatever amount for whatever. Alright, you know, I need you to, oh no, I remember, they get you to go to your bank website and they, you know, hide your screen for a moment. And what they go in and do is they actually change some of the values on your actual bank statement to look like you got a bunch of money from them by accident from like the mistake of what you've done. And so that way you feel super guilty that, you know, you've effectively lost this person their job and everything. And they try and keep you on the phone and keep you panicked and off balance, but to get you effectively get cash and mail them or get cash to meet someone representing them and give them cash. Yep, from mistyping a number in a command prompt. And what they're actually doing is like you would type in, say, $1,000 or whatever. And what the person is doing is, as you're typing it in, since they also control the keyboard, they would hit a number as you're doing it, so that, you know, the $1,000 supposedly that you should be getting, instead you're getting $10,000, which, you know, legitimately that would be something that you'd feel like really bad if you actually just took $10,000 from someone else that, you know, believed they were an innocent person. The empathetic side of you would want to make it right. So then they try and get you to draw a bunch of actual money, cash out of the bank, meet a person in your area to like drop off a package. No, it was they deliver the package to a location using like UPS or whatever, who then picks up the package, and then they ship most of the money back home to the scam company, and they, you know, the person in the middle takes a cut. There's whole documentaries and everything and exactly how it works now, and it's super upsetting because they do play on people's empathy, they do play on the fact that people are trying to do the right thing and all that. And I have very little respect for any of it. I mean, anyone whose business revolves around deceit, I have little respect for. But, you know, you go, how could you fall for that? And the answer is they go after people who, one, don't know better, and they try and put you in that off-balance position where you think you've messed up real bad, that you're not thinking rationally, you're caught in an urgent moment. That's the reason why anytime you get an email and it's like, this needs to happen right now, I usually will go out of my way to take more time to dig into that, make sure it's all credible and all that, because that urgency is usually a very strong indicator something's not in the up and up. I mean, yes and no. There absolutely are companies who 100% it is about benefiting the company at the expense of others, and they do exist. The timeshare industry is rife with those types of companies. But there are a lot of businesses that they do try and do right by their customers. So I don't want to paint the broad brush that it's most businesses or whatever. That said, when you're talking publicly traded companies and blah blah blah, yeah, you are talking about companies who they have an obligation to make themselves more profitable, and usually ultimately that will force them to start, you know, making ethically compromising decisions. Because, like, if you can't expand your job market for one, it's like, oh, well, I gotta reduce my operating expenses then to get more profit, which is just a way of nickel and diming the staff. Yeah, that zombie was nice and delivered an axe. And I'm driving really slowly because there's just a ridiculous number of corpses there. We did do some testing and it does not appear that zombie corpses damage the vehicle, because like I had mentioned previously, I had people who I know a lot about the game that I would take them on their word from it, that have both told me they do and don't. And so we're like, alright, well, we got a huge pile of corpses, let's just go driving over them and test. And we didn't see a single point in durability, or single point in damage on the vehicle. So if it does cause damage, it's negligible. Well, that spear didn't last. Right, if you drive too fast over a bunch of bodies, you can launch the car and that kind of stuff. Yep, those, like, we've had a bunch of machetes. I think we've had 5 or 6 now. But after the last run through, I'm like, alright, I'm sending a decent amount of stuff I can repair stuff with. Let's just repair up a bunch of our machetes. So we took the time to repair 3 of our machetes back into usable state. And then plus this place has been resistant to me getting a foothold in here after the helicopter, so breaking out our good weapons. Yep. That is one of the challenges. So with what Darkstrider's saying, that they don't answer phone calls from numbers they don't know, which is a very, like, that is a safe thing to do in regards to avoiding scams, avoiding a lot of the trouble. Because, like, what they'll usually do is they'll call without even having a recording or anything, and if they get through, they mark your number as, like, good and usable, and then they'll call with a separate number for the scam at a later date. That way they can keep calling, and even if you were to report the secondary numbers as scams and all that, they can just keep switching out numbers there. They already know your number's good, whether or not you actually talk to the scam person. So it's like really not in your best interest to answer phone calls you don't know or expect to call. The challenge there is then, you know, you're pursuing a job, you don't know what number they're going to call you by. Very few companies will say, hey, I'm going to call you by number XYZ. So for people looking for work, that can be a difficult thing to do. But yeah, I also do automatic screening on my phone. And usually what I'll do is I'll tell people when I've applied, it's like, hey, I've got screening on my phone to, like, avoid all these scam calls and all that, so you either need to let me know the number or we're doing this by something other than phone. And the way I see it is if a company's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, we can't do it, it's like, well, then I don't want to work for you. Because you can't give basic accommodations that simple, then I can only imagine your company culture is no good. So yeah, Vilestorms, there's actually a thing where a lot of the phone companies are making it so if a person isn't in your contacts, the phone call just doesn't go through. It's automatically screened. You can have it where it just goes as if the number's no good or busy. You can have it where it goes straight to voicemail. Like, there are different settings and all that. And at first they were trying to charge extra, but I want to say there's a good number of states who pass laws and are like, if you have this technology, you can't charge for it. Like, these robocalls are just so obnoxious, you need to do this. Because that was at the same time they found that a bunch of the phone companies were actually licensing out isn't the word. They're making it so that the robocalls were able to operate more efficiently and everything. Like, they were going out of their way to provide that service. And they're like, no, if you're profiting off it, you have to play ball. And that's because it was getting to the point that all the politicians were getting the robocalls too, and so they're getting, like, everyone is universally unhappy about it. There's our truck that is now stranded. Because we had 2 tires blow up at the same time and we still don't have a jack. We know where we can find a jack, but there's tons of zombies there. Yeah, just so you know, Burning Sun, that will likely get you put on the list that the scam people and all that and robocallers use. Because now they know for a fact they've connected, because even if you are silent, it's still picking up background noise in your mic and everything. Which it's fine, like, that's cool if you want to do it, just know you will probably get more scam calls by picking it up. Yeah, if you universally piss off everyone, including the politicians, you will have policy put against you real fast. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't get too many nowadays, but that's because I also, you know, I'm very careful about, like, not putting my number places, stuff like that. Like, it's even got to the point that a lot of times recruiters are like, oh, well, give me your phone number we can call. I'm like, no, we're gonna like by email or whatever your communication is, we're going to get the details, like how much are you offering, what are your benefits, is it contract, is it full time? Like, give me all of that or I am not even bothering to send my resume. Which I find that fascinating because half the time they'll be like, "Oh, I read your resume and it looks good. Could you send me your resume?" And it's like, what? Yeah, spam emails is another thing, and usually the best I can offer with that kind of stuff is take the time to hop in your email from time to time. Most emails will support rules and all that kind of stuff that will allow you to like kick off different things, will flag stuff as spam that you personally get. Like one of the ones I get is because I work in software dev, and one of the technologies I know is JavaScript. Recruiters will constantly offer me Java positions, which is a technology I don't know in a meaningful capacity because it's not the same thing as JavaScript. And so I've actually had to go to the point of making rules in my email that will just, if someone is asking me about a Java position, it just throws it in the can. And what's sad is that I, as well as the many, many others out there who get those job offers that are just not even, like, I'm not going to take the job. I'm not going to manage to pass an interview on a technology I don't know. So it's just a waste of literally everyone's time, and all they have to do is correct their algorithm, and everyone would be happy. Hey, Longclaw, how's it going? Alright, make sure there's no zombies lurking around inside here, because this is where we've been staying as we've been fighting from this area. There was a zombie in here. Up, and we've had someone cash in 5 push-ups. Give me just a moment. I'm going to get rid of our friends, and then I'll get those knocked out of the way. Well, right. People in those recruiting companies don't read your resumes anymore. It's just not a thing they do. They've scaled up to the point it's not feasible for them to read each and every person's resume. And Drunken Farmer dropping in like all of the emotes for the raid. So yeah, I hope your stream went well. Skill is going strong with the 0-0 build. Living the dreams, katana. It's a shame I'm not at my house. Our house currently has 3 katanas laying on the bed. We're up to 15,000 kills on this character. And I also do a 0-hero build that I've had, I've got a reputation of always doing 0-hero. So this is where we're at with our 0-hero. We are a legitimate menace at this point. Oh, you finally taught them about short blades. Excellent. Yeah, short blades when you're fighting an unreasonable number of zombies is always the go-to. Big fan of short blades. I have not listened to my radio in a while, and we have multiple helicopters going on, and we are in an area with tons of zombies. That is bad choices. That is how you end run kind of choices. Good. No air activity detected. Oh yeah, if you're just talking like raw damage kind of thing, yeah, spears the moment you get your skills, excellent. But like when you're fighting hordes, like just, you've got 200 zombies on you, most people are like, nope, it's time to go. It's like, I got 14 hunting knives. We can do this. We're not sleepy yet. You have no bullets. I'm disappointed. Guy, spare weapons. Ooh, 3 metal pipes. I'll take that. I like nails. Alright. You sleep well, suicidal tuna casserole. Alright. For those going to sleep, you know, you have yourself a good sleep. But yeah, no, it's there's a reason when you look at my skills, or actually here, I can just go here. So I have 15,000 zombie kills and some change, and my favorite weapon's the hunting knife. That should fill in enough about how I stand on short blades. I do have the organized trait. It is a fantastic trait. Being able to just carry more is just kind of nice. Yeah, we should be good there. Alright, some of our veggies are starting to go stale. Luckily we have a salad bowl, which makes everything good. Oh yeah, the only thing I will caution you is if you play multiplayer with people, if one person has the organized trait and the other one doesn't, it can be a colossal pain in the butt. Because you'll fill up like a cabinet to 65 and they won't have as much space, so they take one thing out and go to put it back, but they can't. Because there's not enough room. Because their inventory's smaller. Right, we have been stopping in this house from time to time as our place to stay while we're in the country club. But I haven't been here a while, so just gotta make sure it's actually still safe. Yep, all the doors are closed, we're still good. Because they are getting pretty close to the time our character needs to sleep. So that is what it is. I checked that bookshelf, right? Pretty sure I did. Yeah, I checked all that garbage. Yeah, so we'll kill a couple more zombies in the area. Then we'll have our character turn in for the night. Our sleep schedule's completely trashed. Alright, no one showed up. Cool. I mean, we did kill a couple thousand zombies here the last week. Because we had the helicopter roll in, we just tried to hold our ground, and unfortunately we did have to eventually back out. And it cost us a truck, which had 2 tires blow out. Just gonna sleep immediately.